Hi everybody, this is Sheldon St. Clair on the Project Management for Everyone show, broadcasting to you on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. Hope you've had a good week so far. Right, I've got an interesting subject to talk about today for the next 20 minutes. In the last 8 sessions and talking about project management, we've discussed things like stakeholder management, the characteristics of a good project manager, communications plans, planning, risks, leadership, all those kind of like components of what project management is or should be. Today, I'm going to attempt, but today we're going to talk about methodologies, or a particular methodology. So these are the rules, the regulations, the standards, the approach that project managers should use to manage and control their projects. Trying to make it kind of like applicable as an approach that everybody can follow. Now, if you work in the corporate world, if you work in marketing, if you work in business, the methodology I want to talk about today is called the Agile method or the Agile methodology. Now, it is something that non-IT people will increasingly use and come by and need to understand as well. Okay, a lot of methodologies that we use as project managers is now breaking out from the IT world and now going into the secular world, as you may, the non-IT environment. So I'm giving you a heads up in terms of for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to attempt to talk about the Agile method, what it is, how it should be used, who uses it, when is it used, where, and so kind of I'm trying to make it a methodology or a broadcasting methodology not be boring. So hopefully you got your libations. I've got my cup of tea or cup of coffee. I'm beginning to perspire a bit. It's a bit warm here in this house. Okay, so and I've got my glasses as well. My trusty glasses, doing some reading. This is John Smedley actually. John Smedley. That's my glasses. Okay, right. Okay, so we've done the intro. Now, Agile as a method, there are two main components or two types of Agile methods. There's one called Scrum, and there's another one called Kanban. Okay, Scrum and Kanban. I'm going to attempt to talk you through what they are and how they can be used. And as a non-IT person, what it means for you. As a business owner or as a coach, believe it or not, what Agile can mean to you as it relates to your customers and your clients. Okay, try to make it interesting. Okay, so I'll just do a bit of reading here. Yeah, so the why. Project managers generally, or the project management industry, is always about reducing time in terms of speed to market of a product or a program or a course or a building or a piece of software. It's saving time, saving money, and putting in the features that the customer wants, the customer desires. That's what project management is, to be honest. And it's a disciplined approach, it's a standardized approach. And the Agile method is about that as well. Saving you time, saving you money, saving you stress, and putting the features that people want. And also, delivery of things your customer wants. Yeah, I've got it in. Okay, what I'd like to do before we start off is actually kind of like talk about two quotations that can describe Agile. Two quotes. I'm going to start off with. Let me find out where it is. Done a lot of writing today. Okay, yeah. So two quotes. Okay, one is by a gentleman called Tom DeMarco. Don't know who he is, but it's a great quote. Okay, so a quote by Tom DeMarco. Get the right people then no matter what else you might do wrong after that, the people will save you. That's what management is all about. And Agile is about customers. It's setting your customers is your highest priority. What they want, what they need, what they desire is your highest priority as a project manager using the Agile method. And as Tom said, if you get the right people, so in your team, whether you're kind of running an event, whether you're kind of, hi Stephen, hi Roxanne, whether you're running an event, whether you've got coaching clients, whether you build up a staff, getting the right people can save your ass, basically. Okay. And the second quote is by Benjamin Franklin, who I do know who he is. And this quote is, "Lost time is never found again." Okay, now that kind of like applies to project management, but it also applies to the work, whatever you do for a living, whatever you do on your job, even at home, what you do with your time. Okay, like me, I love Judge Judy. Okay, some people may say that lost time is never found again, but I like Judge Judy. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, right. So that is. Bear with me. Okay, so that is kind of like, that's the what. And that's a nice intro into the Agile method. Now, within the Agile method, there are 12 principles. They've actually got a manifesto. It was created probably about 20 years ago, I believe. Not going to press me on this, but a group of developers, group of testers, group of IT people says, okay, our approach to developing software, we will write it down as a manifesto. And they've got 12 principles. I'm actually going to just read off two, the two that I find are most important and applicable to what we're doing here. Okay, from Roxanne, time is one commodity that you can never replace. That's correct. You can never respend it. Once your time is gone, once it's spent, bye-bye. Yeah, you can get back money, you can get back hair, you can get back good looks. You cannot, well, if you've got enough money for that. But you can never get back time. Okay, right. So let me read these two principles. Principle one. This is to describe Agile. So when you're going to work tomorrow, you can impress your working buddies with Agile. You know what it is. First principle, number one. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Okay. We talk about valuable software, but it could be a valuable product, it could be a valuable service, it could be a valuable program. And that's what people, that's what you're paid for ultimately, even as an employee. You're paid in direct proportion to the value you provide. If you don't remember anything else from this session, you are paid, your job, whatever you do, you're paid in direct proportion to the value that you give your customer. Okay. Valuable experience, thank you. Stephen sounds like I better be open to change. Yes. They say that Stephen. They say that one of the rules of success for people generally, people who are successful, the one thing they've got is their ability to be flexible. Okay, ability to be flexible. You're able to go here. Oh, something's come across. Excellent. I'll go this way. Someone blocks. You've got a challenge. I'll go that way. You've got to be flexible. And the world now in 2018, it's all about our ability to be flexible, our ability to accept change. Okay. This is not project management, but this will help you. Okay, so that's principle number one. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer, and even whatever you do, if that is your highest priority, what it should be, that's part of Agile. Quality comes with a price tag. That is correct, but if you provide value, then your customer, your employer, will pay that price tag, will pay that price because they're getting value. Okay, and they can perceive that. Okay, hi Robert. Okay, principle number two. I thought I was going to be finished in less than 20 minutes. I better, oh dear. Okay, principle number two. Let me stop talking, start reading. My apologies. Principle number two. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Okay, that's another principle of Agile. So that's basically saying that if you're planning an event, everybody has to work together, has to work continually. You haven't got time to debate. You haven't got time to produce mounds of documentation. Everybody is working at the same place, the same time. Problems come up, they're solved immediately. Communication of ideas, it's done there and then. That's another principle of Agile. Okay, right, okay. Let's see now. Yeah, so, and finally, just kind of like a summary, communication is the linchpin. It's the linchpin of Agile, and it's not just communication in terms of, okay, people are disparate, people are working together, people are collaborating, people are sharing ideas there and then. People, yes, Stephen, teamwork. People are getting together and solving it and talking about it and working iteratively. So by communication and teamwork, you can deliver results early, often, and continually, or continuously. Okay, and the business and IT and all your people, if you're planning an event, everyone's working together at the same time. Okay, and it enables change more easily on projects. So that's really what Agile is. That's really what it's about. As I say, it's a big buzzword now, and in corporate life, particularly in marketing. Don't know why, but particularly in marketing, everybody is working together. And that's Agile. Okay, so that's the methodology. Basically, you can implement that in your work from tomorrow in the approach that you take. Okay, right. Okay, so there are two. As I say, there's two parts of Agile. As a methodology, there's Scrum and there's Kanban. Okay, now Scrum is about, I don't believe it's an acronym, it's a Scrum. I think, as we describe it, you'll probably see. Now, Scrum is about sitting down with the users and to get them to tell their story, to define the features of what it is they want and the objectives. So even if you're a coach, or if you're a life coach, now Scrum for you, or if you do coaching or you're doing an event or something, Scrum to you is having your first strategy session. It's having your kind of free consultation. It's having your first phone call. It's having your workshop. That is about meeting the customer and them defining what the features and the objective is of what they want from you. Yeah, that's Scrum. We do it all the time, but this is the project management name that we kind of like hang around it, hang about it. Okay. Let's see now. Yes. Yeah. So basically, I've got a diagram here. I'm just going to quickly go through it. So basically, you've got you sit down. Yeah. A scenario. You sit down with your customer, and then they input to you. This is the features. This is the objective. This is how it should be. This is how things should perform. Okay. So you've got their requirements. So therefore, you've got like a list of requirements. Okay, and you can sit down with the user and or your client or your customer, and you can come up with a prioritized list. This is what's important in terms of the key features. Okay, you got your list. Okay, and then what you can do is to say, okay, then you work out. I will give you something in 4 weeks, or 2 weeks, or 8 weeks, or 3 months. You define kind of like how often you'll deliver something to them, okay, from this long list of requirements. And then you've got, so therefore these become your tasks, okay? And then from there, every 4 weeks, you produce something. And then you review it with your customer, with your clients, and then you implement it. Now, if you're not in IT, what does that mean? Okay, you've got a list of features that your customer wants from you. Now that can be one product. That can be 2 or 3 products. That can be, you can use that to actually design your sales funnel, saying, okay, you'll get this, in 4 weeks' time, and then kind of like, okay, it'll cost you X amount, and then you'll get this in 8 weeks' time, and this will cost you, 200 quid, and in 8 weeks' time you get something else that will be 2 grand. Okay, so that's Scrum basically. You're sitting down with your customers, you're finding out what they want, and you're delivering continually, often, and what did I write down here? Continually, bear with me. Yeah, early, often, and continually. Okay, that's really what Scrum is. This is okay from Stephen. This is a great business strategy anyone can implement. Yes. Okay, it's implemented here mainly in the IT world, but I don't know whether you're here earlier, Stephen. But increasingly in a business, in a corporation, whether it's marketing or other businesses, your people are using Scrum. Now, as an employee or as a business owner, if you know that, then you know what direction they're going to take, and you can help them deliver that. Okay, Robert, interesting, these explanations that I appreciate. Okay, thanks very much for that, Robert. I'm touched. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is Scrum. Okay, the second Agile methodology is called Kanban. Yeah, it's called Kanban. Now, this was actually kind of rooted in manufacturing. Toyota and a lot of car companies use Kanban or developed Kanban in a way of increasing productivity. But it's been utilized in the IT world and increasingly in the non-IT, the secular world. I like that word secular to describe non-IT environments. Okay, so what that is, think of it as and again, this is something that you guys can actually, and girls, ladies, can actually kind of like use in your work environment. What you've got is a large prioritized list, and you've got 3 columns saying, this is what I've got to do, this is what I'm doing, and this is what's done. That's it. That's Kanban, really. And that's the Agile method. A lot of us can like do that in our everyday work, whether you're at work, whether you're at home, when you're prioritizing tasks. We spoke about time management on one of my shows previously, and we said, okay, some tasks you need to look at what's urgent, what's important, what can be delegated, what can be eliminated, what can be given to someone else. Okay, that's really what time management is, or the principles of. Well, in Kanban, you've got 3 columns. This is what I've got to do for my prioritized list. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I've done. And in your meetings is around, okay, the tasks. You can go in your progress meetings. You can look at each of the columns and each of the tasks within those columns to assess progress. Now, because the to-do list is your prioritized list, that project can change. You're sitting down with your customer, your client. They've got new requirements. They've got different requirements. So again, you've got to prioritize that against what you've got previously to come up with a new prioritized list. And then from that list, you do, and you get done, and you deliver. Okay, so the uses of Kanban, it can be used in the work environment. It can be used for project work. When you're working with clients, you can use Kanban. It's not time-based, it's really business as usual. So I suppose kind of, okay, so yeah, so you've got a list, so your work is never ending, to be honest, because you've always got a list to work on. And someone, a developer, what have you, can look at that list, and that's the work that they've got to do. That's the work they've got to do today or tomorrow or next week. Okay, so everyone kind of like works together, and you prioritize your list every day, every week, every month. It's up to you. So in terms of Kanban, those are the uses. Going back to Scrum, the uses of Scrum. Again, it's very time-based. You can choose to deliver something, a new product, a new service, a new piece of software. You can choose to deliver something every 4 weeks, every 2 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 3 months. It's between you and the customer to decide what to negotiate and decide what are you going to deliver and when you're going to deliver it by. but you know that every 4 weeks you're delivering something, and the customer knows that every 4 weeks they're getting something. So even if you were designing kind of like a new system, okay, traditionally, well, as a project manager, we would say that we would give you everything in a year's time. What we're now saying is that we will give you some of the features now, some of the features in 3 weeks' time, and you're building up a picture. It's almost like painting by numbers. You know, it's something we used to do when you were younger, where you painted all the number ones in green and all the number twos in red and all the number threes in orange. And by the time you got to 50, you've got your picture. Yes, but and that's kind of like really what Scrum is about as well. You're delivering features on a periodic basis. That's correct. So Roxanne made a comment saying, therefore, Scrum is time-based and Kanban is process-based. Scrum is definitely time-based. I'll say that Kanban is product-based rather than. No, that's not true. I'm just trying to think. Right. It can be both, actually. I just went through scenarios in my head. Oh, Kanban and Roxanne is with a K. K-A-N-B-A-N. Hope I pronounced it properly. It's process-based, but it's also product-based as well, because you're delivering a product, but your product is getting enriched with more and more features. Oh, just look this way. Your product is getting enriched with more and more features. It could be bug fixes. So if you're working in a software environment and you've got bugs to a particular feature, a particular transaction. Okay, excellent. Yeah, a particular transaction. Your list of prioritized projects could be the bug fixes. I'll deliver some of the bug fixes this week. The other bug fixes will be in 3 months' time. So, for instance, like we're always getting updates to Word, or updates to Microsoft, or updates to Sage, or updates to tools. That's worked on a Kanban approach, where they do a lot of bugs and then they say, okay, this is the new release. Yeah, Apple are always doing releases. That's using a Kanban approach. Yeah. Okay. Now in. Okay, I think I'm almost done actually. Yeah. So I think I'm almost done. Yep. I think I'm almost done. Yeah. Okay. 2 more bits and then we're finished. So in terms of where Scrum could be used and where Kanban could be used, so with Scrum, you're dealing with customer-facing projects, you're dealing with coaching clients, dealing with events that you're looking to stage, and you're looking at IT projects. Okay, Robert's just written something, Kanban. Signboard or billboard in Japanese is a schedule system of lean manufacturing and lean manufacturing, just-in-time manufacturing. Excellent. Yep. This guy, an industrial engineer at Toyota. Brilliant. Yep, I did mention that it was kind of like it's rooted in manufacturing and developed by Toyota to help increase productivities in factories. Thanks very much. See, of course, yeah, I've got my notes here. Well, sorry, got my notes here. well, thanks very much, Robert, and yeah, great for actually taking the time to go and research that and put that on there. I love that. That's brilliant. Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of like where Scrum can be used. Now for Kanban, it can be used on maintenance work with bug fixes and business as usual. Okay, and then finally, who is involved in Scrum? You've got the product owner, you've got kind of like the Scrum Master, you've got developers, you have engineers, you have testers, and you have stakeholders. From Roxanne, the two of you make a great team. Well, he's a great listener. And the fact that he hasn't, talking about a methodology, hasn't sent him to sleep, very impressive. Very impressive indeed. Okay, so yeah, so that's Scrum. Now, in terms of Kanban, the people involved, who's involved in Kanban? Product owners, project managers, developers, engineers, and testers. Okay, so I think that is, yeah, my time's up actually. So I think that is it about Agile. So in summary, Agile is something not just rooted in IT, but non-IT environments are beginning to embrace Agile as a way of working. It's really about putting the customer first, and the customer, is the most important person, and that's why you're doing your work. And within Kanban, you have within Agile, you have Scrum and you have Kanban. That's the methodologies you use to deliver Agile. And Agile has 12 principles, and we spoke about 2. Just in summary, yeah. And I will end with the quote that I mentioned before. So Tom DeMarco, get the right people, then no matter what else you might do wrong after that, the people will save you. That's what management is all about. And the second quote is by Benjamin Franklin, lost time is never found again. Now, I think next week, Wednesday, I will talk about Prince 2, and that's kind of like a methodology used a lot in the UK. Okay, so we'll talk about Prince 2, and then finally, in the third, not next Wednesday, but Wednesday after, we'll talk about PMI and PMBOK. That's PMI's Project Management Body of Knowledge, and how these methodologies can be used in the non-IT secular world. It can be used by you to approach and engage your clients. Okay, by Robert. Thank you, Sheldon. The way you explain this is easy for me to pick up. Thank you very much. That's true, actually. Yep. So normally this stuff sends me to sleep, so I'm afraid I'm grateful that I'm still awake. Thank you. And Stephen, you're pretty smart. Well, that's not true, actually. But thank you very much. Replying to Robert, you're a pretty smart guy. I hope that's directed at Robert, Stephen, not me, but I'm not. So everyone who knows me knows that I'm not. Okay, so yeah, so Robert, Stephen has complimented you. Right, so I think that's it today. That's it. Yeah, that's me done. 25 minutes. Robert, I've tried to teach me something. It may just be kind of like the communication aspect. Yeah. So it may well be that when you kind of like engage with somebody, they didn't capture your key features and also your objectives in terms of what you actually wanted. Okay, Roxanne, I take the hint. So thank you. So I'm off now. Have a great evening. Hope you guys. Yeah, we bought some sweets and we've just basically been doling them out to Halloween people or Halloween children. So today was really, really good for me. I enjoy Halloween, really do. And we've got Guy Fawkes to look forward to next week as well. How that's related to project management, I do not know, but I'm sorry. It's Halloween. So yeah, goodbye for now, and see you guys on Saturday at 10 a.m. where we'll be discussing project management stuff. Remember, project management's for everyone. Okay, bye.